I'm now going to introduce Maëlla, and she's going to talk about her diagnosis with ET and how she became involved with MPN Voice and how that has helped her. Welcome, Maëlla.
Hi, so my name is Maëlla Roué. So I moved over to Ireland around 10 years ago. So I'm French, and I've been having a great life so far altogether. Since I was a very young child, I've always been more subject to infection, sickness, asthma, and I've been living fine with that so far. In January 2019, after getting infection after infection, I felt that something wasn't right, and I requested from my GP to get full blood tests. That's where they were able to see that my platelets were very high, higher than normal. So they've asked to come back and perform a second test, and they were showing even higher platelets. And so my GP requested help from the hematologist department at the Mater Hospital here in Dublin. So they arranged for me to come for an appointment a few months later. And as some of you know, in public sector in Ireland, the waiting list can be quite long. So there I had a blood taken, and they arranged for me a follow-up appointment for about 5 weeks later. So that was about in May. And on my birthday, early June 2019, I was having a celebration with my friends, and I noticed a letter that had come a couple days before, and it was actually the hematology department asking me to come back 2 weeks sooner, which was a bit frightening to me. And so I have a few GP friends, and they mentioned ET, essential thrombocythemia, and but they said like, oh, don't worry, it's just a matter of being mindful whenever you take you get on a plane, and that should be it. And so on June 19th, I got to the appointment, and in the waiting room, a gentleman was on his return appointment after kidney cancer. And we had a lovely chat, and he helped me with the stress level. Yet I was worried to be on the same waiting room as him. My hematologist, Dr. Sumong, then received me to her examination room. She announced the diagnosis and a rare blood condition, that I was tested positive for JAK2. And she explained that I was in an early stage, low stage, and it was manageable, and that it would be okay. And I remember responding, I'm relieved at least it's not a cancer. And that's where she explained that MPNs have now been classified as blood cancer. And as you can imagine, and we have gone through this, I started to panic. She then handed me a leaflet from MPN Voice and explained that I could find all the information about my condition in there. She also explained that I could find support, and that it's such a rare condition that it's difficult for practitioner even to understand and have the knowledge to help me through this. And I was frightened. I didn't know what to do. But then she put me on aspirin and scheduled for me a bone marrow biopsy. I was lucky to have support from friends and family. I was lucky that my work and management understood that I needed to process this all and that I would need time. I didn't know what to think any longer, and I was totally lost. I decided to reach out to MPN Voice, and I was lucky to have the amazing Maz respond to my questions, even the most common ones. I found with this contact that I wasn't alone, and that this is so important, support and empathy. And my sister jumped on the first plane from France and was with me on the bone marrow biopsy day. I will never thank her enough, nor forget about this gesture. I was back then pretty much by myself in Ireland, no family around. And the results showed that my bone marrow was healthy. So that was a great news. But then what's next? And still now I dread every quarterly checkup, worrying about what could happen, what will happen, the weight, what hasn't happened, I think we've all been there. My hematologist has been absolutely fantastic. She's been reassuring me, making sure I cope on and understand this all. She told me I would need personal life changes, which to this day I'm still working on. In September 2019, I received the news that a forum would be held in Belfast by MPN Voice. I decided then to sign up for it. I straight away, when I got to their website, I signed up to newsletter. And Maz then emailed me back to confirm I was good to come over, even though I'm part of Ireland and not the UK. I jumped on an early bus to Belfast and I arranged to stay at a friend's house for the weekend. There I found that I was really not alone, found support. I got answers to my questions that were still unclear to me. It was clear in my head. I could also feel that patients were keen to bond and everyone was understanding each other, which was a great feeling. I still had issue accepting it all, though, as you can imagine. I think we've all been there, as I'm saying all the time. But in March 2020 came the pandemic. With the first lockdown, it has been hard to understand what to do, in which category to put yourself in. We didn't even have to ask MPN Voice. They proactively sent us the relevant information through their newsletter. I was able to find responses to all my questions, not even having to ask anybody. Then they offered a patient forum online, to which I attended. I was lost, to be honest. It's hard still to digest my diagnosis and had gone through quite low stages, mentally speaking. During this pandemic, I'm gonna go back. During this patient forum in July or August, they had mentioned that they needed funds. They needed funds to keep going and help with research. I told myself then I needed to do something to help, because MPN Voice disappearing would not be an option. I thought about it for a couple of days, and I'm part of the traditional Irish music scene here in Ireland, and I know a lot of musicians, and I decided to start a fundraiser online involving my musician friends. I reached out to MPN Voice once more, and the relationship was amazing. So Maz and Nona walked me through the steps to create a fundraiser page, set the concert date, every detail alongside everyone involved, the different musicians who performed, those who filmed, the people who produced the film itself. MPN Voice and the board have supported us every step of the way, which was absolutely fantastic. And this generated a lot of excitement, and for my personal experience, I must say, full acceptance of my diagnosis, which was extremely important. So I would have not been able to be okay living with this condition if I had not come across MPN Voice. I'm sure of it. A few months have passed now, and my platelets are stable at the moment, which is great. And it's all day by day. And my professional career is going great, personal life as well. And I've made peace with myself, and I could never thank enough MPN Voice, my hematologist, and the people around me enough for their patience and support. I'm aiming to organize more fundraiser now for MPN Voice, but also for meaningful charities that help others.
Thank you, Maëlla. And again, so many thanks for all that you've done for MPN Voice since your diagnosis.